Fleming is here, and this is the night we've all been waiting for. It is the 2024 Major League Pickleball Draft. So much anticipation to this. Here's the deal. We're going to give you 5 minutes. Get your snacks, get hydrated, get your draft sheets ready, and then we're coming back in 5 minutes with all the excitement. Hannah Johns is going to join me right here. We'll see you in 5. It's going to be awesome.
We are
Major League Pickleball.
We are MLP.
We are Major League Pickleball.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 Major League Pickleball Draft. I am your host, Hannah Johns, here with Dave Fleming, voice of pickleball and senior pro. Dave, thanks for being here.
I'm thrilled to be here, Hannah. I feel like a little kid on Christmas here. What players is Santa going to bring down the chimney? This is a big day. We've all been waiting for it. Who is going to go where? We don't know, and we've never done it like this before either. This is going to be awesome.
Guys, we are right there with you. We don't know what's going to happen tonight, but Dave, for sure, has some predictions. Talk us through what we might see tonight.
Yeah, so I think what's interesting with the way the drafts have gone is last year the first draft was 7 ladies, then 5 guys. Then we had 7 guys and 5 ladies, and I will take the under on ladies in the first 12 picks tonight. Under 5 tonight, guarantee it.
All right, so he thinks men is going to dominate tonight. Well, we will see a little bit about how the draft is going to work for everyone at home. Dave.
Yeah, I think the big difference here is this is not a draft where you just follow along with the picks, Hannah. This is a deal where every pick is up for bid. Every team got 500,000 draft points. They can purchase an additional 500,000, and then they're bidding. And there's going to be egos involved here. People are going to want different things, and there's going to be battles all the way through. And if there's a tie, guess what? They're going to go in a room, and we're going to have a bid off. This is amazing. At the end of the night, 2 dudes, 2 ladies on each team, and we will know who's playing together. Fantastic.
Next up, the 2024 MLP season schedule will be made up of 8 regular season events, each team participating in 5. The midseason tournament, all teams will participate, and the top 6 teams make the playoffs. Events will be held in 9 states, plus Washington, D.C. And speaking of 2024, we have Atlanta coming up as our first MLP event of this year. What can we expect to see?
Can't wait to get there, Hannah, and here's the big deal. We've got a new way we're scoring MLP. So games to 25, still rally scoring, win by 2, and you can win a match when you're receiving. So no freeze. When you get a lead, you might be able to keep it a little better. So those teams that fall behind, hey, you better return the ball well and get after it. So it's going to be fantastic.
This is absolutely going to change the way that we see games unfold, and maybe matches ending quite a bit quicker as well. So very fun stuff to come. With that, we're going to hear from our own Cam Blackwood with the ABCs of pickleball.
For the first time in pro sports, MLP will use a dynamic bidding process for the Premier Draft, where teams will win each of their 4 draft slots by outbidding their rivals. Here's how it works. The first draft spot will be put up for bidding. Teams will get to submit bids with the highest bid earning that number 1 pick. This process will repeat itself to select all remaining players from the available draft pool, until each team gets to 4 players. What's exciting about this process is that it ensures that the strength of each team is really going to be based on who has the best strategy in overall team building.
So Dave, the dynamic bidding process is something that everyone's talking about. It's never been seen before. It's crazy, it's new, it's fun, and I think that the team owners are going to be learning along with us. What are we expecting to see tonight from them?
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, I talked to a bunch of the GMs this morning. They were asking fantasy football experts how to help them. They were doing mock drafts, and the big difference here this year, Hannah, is it's not just a one-year draft. These players could be with your team for up to 3 years. So the fact that you're trying to see who's got a little upside there in my investment is going to be very interesting, and that will definitely affect the order of the picks today.
All right, as we head towards pick number 1, which we're all super excited about, any predictions? Who should be going number 1?
I mean, I got a Johns to my right, and it's got to be Ben Johns, whoever ends up earning that first pick. The dude just wins. He wins on the PPA Tour. He has multiple Major League Pickleball wins. I've been so privileged to be the GM and coach of one of his teams. You can count on Ben. I'd be stunned if he's not first, but we'll find out.
All right, well, more to come after this quick break. Let's see if Dave's correct.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes! Woohoo!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
They might have a lot of shelf space, but they also have something else. Oils, gums, sketchy sounding additives. Ugh. Milk doesn't have any of that. Nothing artificial. Because it's what we're not that makes us who we are. Clean, organic, delicious. It's all we've ever been and all we'll ever be.
The 2024 Major League Pickleball Draft is brought to you by Margaritaville. Escape to your personal paradise. Stay, play, live, and dine in Margaritaville. And by Malk, premium plant-based milk. Clean, organic, delicious.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being here with us. You can't be in the draft room, but we do have Dave, who can tell you all the insights on what is happening. Dave, we have breaking news.
Yes, we've got our first bid slot winner. The Northeast teams were battling New York, New Jersey. They wanted in there, but ultimately Seattle secures that first pick, 840,000 draft points. That leaves them just 160,000 for the balance of the draft, but they've got it. We'll see what they do with it.
Even that number makes me feel uncomfortable, but now it's time to reveal the name. Bruce Popko, Major League Pickleball CEO, to reveal.
Good evening, MLP fans. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. With the first pick in the 2024 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Seattle Pioneers select Ben Johns.
Like any team sport, of course you want to perform. I know I want to win more than anything. It's, I've been privileged to have a lot of great teammates. All three of them played really well. They were fun to be around, fun to play with, fun to be on the same team with. having a new team, playing with new people, and you know, supporting each other in that same way with a whole new team. I feel like I can get a lot better, and I still have a ton of things to work on and improve in. Still working on new attacks, new shots. There's a ton I can do better. I wish my former team the best, but once I come up against them, you know, it's still going to be game time. Winning, of course, is always the goal, and I love it.
Well, you've been proven correct, sir. Ben John's the #1 pick, one of the most winningest players in all of pickleball. And he texted me earlier today and said he was so excited to be able to draft the remainder of his team, which he, I assume, will now do. Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah, and that's an important part of the Major League Pickleball draft. These first selections become assistant general managers, which is great because you've got to have that chemistry as a player and have that sort of that connection with the owners and the general manager. So I love that that's the way it works out. Ben has actually worn the Seattle Pine, so we don't need to order any jerseys. He's good to go with that. But the interesting thing with that, 160,000 points left, and the players that are added, some thrive with Ben, but some get very nervous. So finding that right match is going to be really important for the rest of the Pioneers.
Absolutely. Well, we're not going to make you wait quite as long for this next pick. We've got some news.
I got breaking news again. Pick #2 has been secured. The squeeze we're battling. Utah, St. Louis, but it was the New Jersey Fives that get slot #2 for 680,000 points.
Incredible. All right, let's see who the pick is. Bruce Popko to present.
With the second pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the New Jersey Fives select Leigh Waters.
MLP this season has just been amazing, not only from the crowds, but the team owners to teammates, and just overall, like the experience of coming to these MLPs, competing as a team. You know, usually in pickleball, it's kind of like a lonely sport out there. It's all about yourself, but you kind of have your teammates to kind of share the highs and lows with, and you definitely have both at MLP, but it's just a really cool part of the sport to be able to show some more personality, have a little bit more fun out there, and I've been lucky because I've had such an amazing team to be a part of. Yeah, so the second season I'm pumped for. Definitely looking forward to meeting new team owners and having new teammates on my team, even though I will be missing Leah, James, and Hayden. But yeah, super stoked for the new season. Can't wait to see what events, what facilities we go to. I want to win it so bad. This is the only title in pickleball and I have not won. So I want to add that to my resume of pickleball, and I can't wait to be able to have 3 more chances at it next season.
Already a legend at just 17, Leigh Waters, no surprise, our second pick of the night. Dave, I talked to her earlier today. She's already in North Carolina prepping for the upcoming event. Yeah. She wrote me that they had an early dinner to prepare for this, and she's actually sitting around with some of her extended family because she's actually from that area. But this must be exciting for her to find herself in the #1 slot. Dave, your thoughts on this choice?
You know, what's interesting is it's outrageous that this young lady at 17 has 97 PPA Tour wins. If she gets a Triple Crown this weekend, she gets 100. What she does not have is a Major League Pickleball win. So you think she's going to be motivated out there? She will be. The other interesting thing for these first 2 picks is they've played for this team before. Ben in Seattle, New Jersey Fives with AL Dub. So it'll be interesting to see if that familiarity becomes a thing throughout the draft. So far, 2 for 2.
Looking scarily similar so far. But with that, we're going to talk a little bit about the good things that pickleball does all over the world. A video from Pickleball Cares.
I think the vision for Pickleball Cares was to get more kids playing the sport. We want to introduce the sport to the world, and the idea is to make it more accessible. So Pickleball Cares actually focuses on underserved communities. So most of our outreach will actually be geared towards communities that need it the most.
There's a lot of disparity right now in the ability for kids, especially from underserved communities, to play sport. And so we see this as the ultimate leveler, that it's going to bring play equity to these communities that otherwise would not be able to have the opportunity. We want to get kids moving again, and this is such an easy way to do it. There's not only the physical benefits that they have towards their health, but the social emotional aspect of not only the camaraderie of playing with other kids, but learning a sport and getting outside. Pickleball Cares wants to impact lives through pickleball. It is the fastest growing sport in America, and there's a lot of opportunity there to touch a lot of lives.
Guys, thanks for waiting. We've got breaking news.
We do. And Utah, Arizona, all battling. Columbus wanted this spot, but guess who got it? St. Louis Shock, 590,000 points. And here's what's interesting. I think we're not going to just have it. It has so far gone a little lower each time. I bet you it's somewhere somebody's going to overpay somewhere. But St. Louis Shock has this next choice.
All right, Bruce Popko.
With the third pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the St. Louis Shock select Anna Bright.
My favorite part about MLP this season has been the hunger, you know, to get into Premier, to stay in Premier. And I think we had a really great saga, the first event, and made it like a super pleasant, super fun, super hype experience. I'm just thinking about, you know, how am I going to get better at taking a lot of core and being a more dominant presence. You know, I'm adding a lot of stuff to my game. Just continuing to improve on the whole as a player. Like, you just got to go out there, you got to compete, you got to hope everyone on your team is having a good day. I think it's great to see the dynamics. You know, we're playing to win. I want to win as bad as anyone. The upside, sky high. I'd say is where my head is at.
So AB joins AL on our board. Anna actually texted me this morning. I was like, are you going to be around to draft your team and, you know, going to be picked? She's like, well, I was in a high-speed chase in Miami. I missed my flight. I'm actually landing when the draft is starting. So she said, please pick me late so I have time to answer your call. That didn't happen, but hopefully she was still able to take it.
Well, the high-speed chase was to draft her here tonight, and I'm not surprised. When you talk about a player that you want to just bring the fire, unbelievable teammate, has tremendous MLP results, and I know the hearts are absolutely broken in Orlando to see their beloved Anna Bright is going to St. Louis. So that's a person you can build a team around, and her energy just makes people play better. So terrific pick. Anna Bright is what Major League Pickleball is all about.
Yeah, and it's great that you mentioned that, because it is really true that we found out that there are players that are really, really good in individual play and really bad in team play, and vice versa. Talk a little bit about the players that thrive in the team environment and potentially the ones that don't.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of players that grew up with college tennis and loved that camaraderie and the loudness and the cheering and to get that going, and we've seen some of them. And a young man who we haven't seen yet but could soon is Christian Alshon. College tennis player, thrived last year, won a challenger title and then won a premier title. That's the type of player I want to see. I want to see somebody that has upside, that is great in a team environment, that has shown to be a good teammate and has the passion to win as a part of a team. So those are the things that all these general managers are looking at. I mean, they did so many mock drafts out there with these general managers, and they've eaten off all of their fingernails trying to figure out how to do this, because the difference for these first few picks is they knew on the way back they could get a spot, like the first pick gets 24. There's no guarantee of which spot you're going to be drafted in again. So that is what's really cool about what's going on here tonight.
All right, before we carry on, a quick clip.
My name is Rich Kleiman. I'm the co-founder of Boardroom. Boardroom covers the intersection of sports, business, and entertainment. I'm also a owner of the Brooklyn Aces alongside my partner Kevin Durant, who I've been the manager for now 10 years. I'm a sports fan, period, and I'm competitive, and I've been playing tennis most of my life. And when I was first introduced to the sport of pickleball, it was seconds before I realized that I could connect with this sport, that this was a sport I could play the rest of my life. This is a sport I could find great competition from. And I knew Kevin would like it, and I knew a lot of other NBA guys and NFL guys would see the same thing that I was seeing. I think there's a real welcoming kind of nature about the sport. I think once you're around it, you feel like you can play right away. It's not intimidating. However, you understand that the level of skill at the highest level in the league is just like any other sport, where the best of the best are some of the best athletes in the world, and you see what Ben Johns and Anna Lee and some of these players have done, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And I think the sky's the limit for this league. I think you're going to start seeing communities being built like our very own Brooklyn Aces, and there's just so much competition amongst not only the players and the sport itself, but the ownership group within MLP. And now that we're working hand in hand with the PPA and we're all one team, I think you're going to see a tremendous growth this year for the league. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for the competition. And I think it's incredible what we're doing this year at MLP. That's why I'm proud to be a part of it on the boardroom side, but also on behalf of MLP.
Well, guys, guess what's on the board? Pick number 4.
Yes, and another, like these teams I'm hearing from. I heard from Orlando here. Texas jumps in. Arizona's in there. But ultimately, the heart of it all, Columbus, Ohio, with 550,000 draft points. They get pick number 4. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Bruce Popko, MLP CEO.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Columbus Sliders select Riley Newman.
I mean, I just want to compete and just give it my all, and just pumped for MLP Season 2. Well, one of my personal goals was, I think, to be drafted really high. I'm definitely a team guy. I really like competing for my teammates, but one of my personal goals is having a chance to get an MLP crown. I mean, I want to be, by the time I finally retire with Pro Pickleball, which is way down the line, but I want to have an MLP title to my name. I think everyone that wins in MLP is just like they've got their life almost made. I mean, it's just so cool when you finally get that moment with your teammates that you're celebrating. So I want to be able to be on a really good, solid team and then have a chance to compete. I want to win at all costs, and that simply is doing whatever it takes. I'm bruised up half the time. I'm bleeding on my knees, but if there's a chance that I can give my team a little bit more of a chance to win, I'm going to do that. I play pro pickleball for the competition, and so I want to win, and I'll do whatever it takes.
Riley Newman falling at number 4. Riley is a player that announced he loved MLP so much he wanted to play for them exclusively. But something tells me that might have changed by now. Dave, walk us through this pick.
There's so many things that have changed just today, and that was one of them. I was texting with Riley earlier. He's now back on the PPA Tour, and he is coming back to play in Atlanta. So he's going to take the April slate off, but I believe, Hannah, that DC really wanted him. They won with Riley last year. He really led that team to some impressive wins. They got a title, but he isn't going to DC. So Columbus, they've got Riley Newman. Folks in Columbus, you better get your syrup ready because a pancake's coming to you.
So Riley Newman, he's an incredible player. He's had a lot of victories all this time. Why is he such an important link for any team?
I think he falls into what I talked about at the beginning of the draft, which is I want to find a guy that can win 2 matches for me and really dominate. He is a terrific mixed doubles player, and because of that pancake grip, he can play the left or the right if there's trouble, and that just really helps just a team to have so much variety in what they're able to do. And now he's a winner, and he can just really urge his whole team forward. So Columbus going there.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after this quick break.
My name is Amin Hafiz. I'm Director of Operations for the Orlando Squeeze. We had a really good team, probably the best team, in my opinion, in Major League Pickleball for Season 2 in the Premier. We had Anna Bright, Rachel Rohrabacher, Andre Deiu, and Zane Navratil. Really good chemistry between the 4 of them. They gelled on and off the court. We saw 3 straight finals. We won the MLP in Atlanta. We're looking to win again here in the new season for 2024. We really looked for players that played well together. So they complemented one another between Anna and Andre on the court. For mixed doubles, Anna and Rachel, their chemistry was off the charts. For women's doubles, we were thankful to get out to a 1-0 lead, putting them out first in almost every single match that we had. And so we're looking to kind of emulate that strategy again here with the new draft. It's a different format. It's not the snake draft, it's an auction. With dynamic bidding, it makes your strategy just a little bit different. You got a lot of contingency planning, always staying on your toes, keeping an eye on who's got what budget left, how much can we afford for a certain pick, their upside, their strategy, how do they play well with who we've already drafted. It's going to keep us on our toes for sure.
Well, we have a slot number 5. Walk us through it, Dave.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of different teams trying to jump in there. And what's interesting is we have gone down just a little bit with each draft slot, how many budget points they used. 530,000. We got a new team. We're going out to the desert. Morgan Evans in the Arizona Drive. What are they going to do with it?
All right, and with that big reveal, Bruce Popko.
With the 5th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Arizona Drive select Andre Deiu.
Andre Deiu has been incredibly hot over the last couple of weeks and even months. He came away with the Double Crown just a few weeks ago in Austin. How good of a pick do you think this is?
When you want a guy that is an unbelievable teammate, that's a winner, and is on fire right now, that is why you take Andre. The big fella, he played a little tennis up at Oklahoma, so boomer to all you Oklahoma fans out there. Here's why I like Andre as a pick. He will make everyone around him calm. He will make them feel and play their best. The interesting thing you have to decide with Andre, is he at his peak now, or does he have a little more to give versus some of the younger names that we haven't seen yet? So that's what you had to decide on here. But obviously, part of that unbelievable squeeze team last year, and they are just, Orlando, all their people are just not going to be there again. And that's why I love that this draft you can keep these players, get your fans to get to know them, and you can have them for up to 3 years.
Well, Andre at home with his family and his 2 daughters watching this draft from his couch. Hello, guys. You're the number 5 pick. And with that, we're moving on to pick number 6.
Yeah, and this is, again, I said that these picks would be around the same. Maybe a slot would be more than the one before. Well, we finally reached the point where that happened. So for pick number 6, we keep hearing from Orlando, but they did not get this one. It goes to $550,000, which is 20 more than the prior pick for Andre, and that is going to the New York Hustlers.
All right. To hear what the Hustlers decided to do with their pick, we hear from Bruce Popko.
With the 6th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the New York Hustlers select Jack Sock.
Jack Sock, having made his transfer over from tennis to pickleball, has become a shining star in our sport. But he falls still quite a bit higher than I had expected. Same for you?
Yeah, I think when you look at upside, I mean, this dude is an absolute freak. He's a unicorn. The fear hand that he has is second to none. And this dude loves pickleball. I happened to be out at Indian Wells when he was playing a couple years ago. He's marching to win the doubles title with John Isner, and he's demanding that I show up to play pickleball with him because he loves it. That's a huge tournament. So this is a guy, upside is huge because he's just now getting the reps against the best players in the world on the PPA Tour. And you want to talk about marketability. All the tennis fans love watching him. He has been dominating the airwaves on the PPA Tour. We love the showmanship, and the dude backs it up. And if you get to a dream breaker, you have one of the best singles players. So that is a terrific value at pick number 6.
So the one thing about Jack Sock is that as a tennis player, he actually got a higher ranking in his doubles, in the doubles side. And so team atmosphere is not something that's totally alien to him. Does that give him an advantage here?
Well, I think what really gave him an advantage from the doubles is his hands are just golden. I mean, you can't get the ball through that guy. And what's great for him is this is a second career for him. So he's having fun. Guess what's in the backyard of Jack Sock? Yeah, 20 by 44. He's got a pickleball court. He loves playing with all those North Carolina players, and it'll be interesting to see if Jack's influence on the rest of their draft maybe tries to get one or two of those. But this is a guy that really can take over for a team. I love this selection.
All right, picks 1 through 6 complete. We're going to be right back after this quick break.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. It's so perfect for a flying. Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away.
Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm here now with your 5-day forecast over at the weather board. Just kidding. But here are some of the available players, and look who we have here. Catherine Parento at the top, and some very dominant, aggressive ladies, and you know I love Etta Wright's game. So smooth and has been an MLP champion. Down here are the guys who can dominate a match, get those 2 wins that teams want, and you have crazy upside in some of the younger players here. J.W. Johnson, Big Papa James Ignatowicz, and then Christian Alshon, who, as we mentioned earlier, has won not just a challenger, but a premier Major League Pickleball title. That is one impressive dude. His arrow is pointing up. So who's going to come out of this, or will it be somebody else? We'll find out. I'm going to head back to the desk.
A great look at all the talent left on the table. Looks like we have pick number 7 rolling on in. Dave?
Yes, we do, and we're here in Dallas. We're just up the road, and the Texas Ranchers for 530. So pick 4 went for 550, pick 5 for 530, pick 6 for 550, pick 7, 530. So we've been in about that $500,000, and I can't wait to see if they pick somebody we just showed or somebody else.
All right, Bruce with the pick.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Texas Ranchers select Christian Alshon.
Christian Alshon, you mentioned his name over at that board, and you also mentioned that he is the only player to have ever won Premier and Challenger titles in the same year. He worked his way up. He was even MVP.
Yes.
This guy loves MLP. He performs well at MLP. He also performs well on the PPA Tour. He is got his lucky star going for him, and he is a phenomenal player. I love this choice. Dave?
I do too. I mean, this is a guy, as I was putting together my draft boards and ratings, you just couldn't put him high enough, and it's because of the upside. And this is a dude that puts in the work. So folks, when you're watching these players, you don't get to see how hard they work off the court. This guy works hard. He was preparing his top 24 picks, and he texted me this morning, and he said, hey, if I'm in that first group, I'm going to be ready to help. He said, if I'm in the, I said, if you're not in the first 12, they're doing it wrong. Well, good job out there, Texas. You're doing it right. You're going to love having this guy. But the ascent is remarkable, as you mentioned, Hannah. This is a guy that was working and working and working his way up, and now he, of all the human beings on earth, he's the 7th pick.
I love it. Well, we focus a lot on 2024 tonight, but a look back at 2023, how phenomenal was that year for MLP? We saw 6 events, we saw 2 seasons, we saw so many spectacular finals, and that year ended with the most insane final that we've seen, the squeeze versus the slice down 2-0.
Yeah.
And then they came back to win it. The Mulk Pure moment coming up next is going to showcase what those moments were like.
I got that dog in me, yeah. Turn me up. Big energy, got the crowd going nuts. I got that dog in me, yeah. Any up. I take on anyone. I don't need a one-on-one. I got that dog in me, yeah. I'm talking all bite, no bark. I could rip your squad apart. I got that dog in me. So what's up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's up?
What's up, Chicago? You know, it took a while, it took half a season, but we brought home the championship for you. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and we did it for you guys.
Well, we all get to be a part of this wonderful thing that's called MLP. Some of us more on the inside than others. You're a GM, and you have been for several years. You've been here since the beginning, and it elicits a lot of feelings in all of us.
Yes.
And I want to know, what are the players feeling right now? Are they anxious? Are they excited?
They're everything. They're nervous because this is your life and it's your career now, Hannah. And suddenly others are controlling it. And that's what's interesting about PPA, individual. If you want to play this week in North Carolina, you get to decide. If you don't, fine, that's your choice. The team, you've got to be there for 3 other people, for the team behind you, for these GMs, these coaches. So it's a much different mentality, and that's where the nerves come in. That's where you feel pressure for yourself, but when you have to do it for others, that adds a layer. Some of these teams have had players that thrive, and others have wilted under that. So you've got to have a feel for the mentality of the people that you pick, too. And they are scattered. They're in Airbnbs. They're at sports bars. They are all gathered around trying to get a feel for where are they going to get picked tonight.
Well, Dave, as a GM, how are you advising your team to deal with that amount of stress and pressure? Because you're right, a team environment, you're carrying everyone's expectations, not just your own. And when you go home, you're crying or you're grieving for your loss, not just for yourself, but for your whole team. Yeah. How do you counsel the players? Yeah, I think the big thing there, Hannah, is you cannot try and take the weight of the whole team on your individual shoulders. And what I always try to do with all of my teams is let's have a couple things that we're going to try to accomplish this weekend. We know who we're playing. What are we going to do against this team? If you start trying to teach technique, number one, they're the best players in the world, so what are you doing? But secondly, just have a couple strategies that we can put in play. Let's see how they're doing. And if we have to adjust on the fly, you need to be able to do that. So I think that's where these coaches really come into play, is the ability to put a game plan together, and then if it's not working, adjust that. But you've got to know your players' ability to be able to do that. So the homework is behind there to go, if I put this player in a position where I want them to slide a little more backhand, do they have the TUI to do it? You got to know that. Absolutely. And with that, we're back to draft picks. We've got some breaking news. Dave?
We do. And I've been saying this name for a while now, and they hadn't gotten over the hump. And that's what I said. There's going to be egos. There's going to be battles in this draft room. And for those of you trying to wonder, well, what is it like? If you've done a fantasy football draft, it's very similar to that. And the teams that have GMs that have done auctions, like baseball fantasy auctions, have an advantage here. So we jump back in. DC finally comes out on top, and at the exact $500,000 mark, 500,000 points, DC.
All right, and who did they select? Bruce?
With the 8th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, DC Pickleball Team selects James Ignatowicz.
First thing that I love most about MLP is just the environment, the team aspect. That's what everybody says, you know, the big crowds, rooting for your friends and your teammates. It's definitely a cool way to kind of experience this event. I think I've got a lot of room to improve in all areas. I think I could make a lot more balls in transition, and well, I think it'll be cool because now I've already done it for this first half of the season. I get a fresh start, new team. I think it'll be fun because maybe now I'll get drafted higher than I was back in January, and I think it's cool to kind of have that more, maybe like a little bit of a leadership role. It'll be good to try my hand at it. I think the more I have fun out there, the better I play. I think that's the truth with almost anybody, so I'm just going to keep having fun and moving my feet, and I want to win really bad. I definitely want to win for many reasons, but the main reason is probably the money. I mean, I don't know. That's probably the main reason.
Well, James Ignatowicz, the man with all the energy and the split step heard around the world, as we remember from a couple MLPs ago. Is this the right pick at this time?
1,000,000%, yes. 500,000 points, yes. Great pick by DC. Here's why. No one hits the ball harder. I mean, this guy destroys the ball, Hannah, and he has the ability to just say, Ladies and gentlemen of my team, and in this case DC, I'm going to go win this match by myself. He is unbelievable at both men's doubles and mixed doubles. That reach is absolutely phenomenal. The thing you want to watch with him, has had a couple minor injuries, is just coming back here. So the ability to be available is a huge part of MLP as well. But my goodness, to get this guy with the 8th pick, because again, we're talking about 3 years. You're talking about having some upside. This guy has not reached his peak yet, Hannah, and that is a big deal. So James Ignatowicz with the 8th pick, I love it.
All right, and with that, we're straight into the 9th pick.
Yeah, and here we go with how long can we stay in the 500,000 points range, Hannah? Can we do it or not? Well, we just dipped below here. So for 440,000 points, we're going out to LA. Yeah, the Mad Drops have secured this pick.
All right, with the Mad Drops, Bruce.
With the 9th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Los Angeles Mad Drops select Catherine Parento.
It's been amazing. This is just different. I mean, the atmosphere, the environment, it's so awesome to play for your team. But yeah, it was a phenomenal experience for sure the first season. I think what I look most forward to next season is just to have even a better time. I mean, I've had really good time with my teammates, but I think I'm looking forward to create bonding moments with new teammates. I think when a team has good chemistry, it makes such a big difference in a match. So I'm really excited to bring the energy pretty high. I'm very known for being defensive. I got good hands, so I'm just really trying to go out there and just take it to them and being more aggressive. Also a little bit of a killer mindset.
Catherine Parento, what a solid pick this is. I absolutely love her game. She's in North Carolina right now watching live. Hey, Catherine. And she said she was so excited to draft her team once she got picked. She loves that part of the process.
She does. And the other thing you get when you draft Catherine is you get her partner, Athena Trujillo, who's one of the best coaches. So you get a combo platter, much like with Leigh Waters, you get Leigh Waters. That is humongous because no one knows these players better. They know how to coach, and that is a big deal. So Catherine is another one of these that gets to keep the same jersey because she was a part of the LA Mad Drops that broke my heart last year, beat the Pioneers for the Super Championship last year. But when you need somebody to make a reset, I call her my favorite firefighter. Her partner gets her in trouble, and she just bails that out. Her game is balletic. It's beautiful. You have some of the dudes that are a little crazy, and we had 5 dudes in a row picked. You have nothing to worry about with Catherine. That's what's great. She is going to play at a high level consistently every single time.
Absolutely, and we're going back to this same phenomenon that teams are choosing players that they've worked with before, especially players with easy temperaments, where you're like, this person, I know what they bring to the table. They're easy to work with. They're team players. They're good people, and they're going back to the tried and true, even if they didn't win all of the finals with them. But they like things. They like the familiarity of something they can trust.
For sure. I mean, if it worked, if you got a title, I mean, I had to go shake hands with Drew Brees, which that sounds fun, but not when you lost to him. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of this, and I think that's why we're excited. I'm from Pittsburgh. I cheer for the laundry. I cheer for the black and gold, and then the players get in there. We want to start building that with Major League Pickleball, meaning you get behind the Mad Drops, and you're behind Catherine for 3 years or more, and that's what we're going to build here, and that's what starts tonight, and that's why this draft's so important, because it's not just for the balance of this year, and then we're going to do it all again. You can keep your 3 best players for multiple years, and that's big.
Well, we're getting close to that 12th pick, sort of marking our first trimester, so to speak, of the draft. And it's interesting to see some of the different strategies that are being used here. And we talked about this a lot before this happened. There were so many mock drafts out there. Everyone was doing their own homemade draft. And some people were saying, is it 99% budget, 1%, 1%, 1% for those 4 players? Or is it a 25, 25, 25, 25 structure? What do you think are some of the downsides or upsides of those types of strategies?
You're not going to hear from Seattle for a while. They went all in. I agree with that choice because you get the GOAT, and that's in Ben, but you only have 160,000 points left. When you're getting a Christian Alshon for 530, when you're getting a Jack Sock for 550, you still have plenty of points left to put another stud, male or female, next to that person. And that's big because then you can go, I got 2 A-listers out here. So it's going to be interesting to see on the next 12, how do those teams, who's going to be the first team to grab 2 players? And it could happen before somebody has 1.
So prediction then, do you foresee those teams that have split half of their budget by now, are they going to blow as much as they can on their next pick and really try to take the top player off the board and then leave potentially bare bones for the last 2?
Yeah, I think what a lot of teams did is they came in with an idea that we're either going to go male, female, female, male, and then they're looking at their budget. Some teams have the whole thing sitting there. Then you have to decide, well, what are we in this for? Do we want to win, which of course most teams do? Do we want to be the most marketable team? Do I want a team that is from my area so we can really get that connection with the fans? So once you have that question answered, then you fill out your roster to match what's going on with that. So there's a lot of ways to play that. If I'm one of these that I just mentioned in the 500s, I want to go spend $300,000 on one of those ladies that was over there on my availability board, because you put those things together, you're not losing it mixed. You're just not.
Well, speaking of which, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We still have a few more picks before we reach number 12. Number 10 is in.
And wow. Hannah, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Back-to-back Jack. Yeah, that's right. LA Mad Drops for 370,000 points have secured the 9th pick with Catherine, and here they come with the 10th pick. That's why this dynamic process is crazy.
Exactly what you just said. Proven true. That's awesome. Let's see who they selected. Bruce?
With the 10th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Los Angeles Mad Drops select Thomas Wilson.
Welcome back, guys. And with that, Thomas as our next pick. What do you think of this?
Well, there's not a better dude on, there's just simply not a better dude on tour. He had those scary health situations with his heart about 18 months ago, and I called a match and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the scariest thing I've ever done, because when you see someone clutching their chest and you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? The good news is he got that figured out. And since that moment, can you imagine playing at a high level and having your heart race the whole time? That is unbelievable. He gets that figured out, and he is on a tear. And he is one of the players in their 30s, but he might be one of the best athletes you'd ever see anywhere. So the fact that the LA Mad Drop said, you know what? We're pushing the chips back in again, baby, and we're getting Thomas and Catherine. You want to deal with that team in mixed, all these other teams? And if you haven't picked anybody yet, let's go, because LA Mad Drops are here to play.
I absolutely love that partnership. Such an incredible choice for the two of them to take together. Thomas, as well, recently adopted his first child with wife Brittany at home. I'm sure she's watching, baby Holland. And that is really, I think, I'm a woman, but I feel like it supercharges a man when he's got that family unit. And he's been playing so well this year. And he's got baby on the sidelines, wife on the sidelines. And I think it just really brings something special to the atmosphere, humanizes the players. How cool is it?
I mean, hashtag girl dad right here. Come on. Yes, I love that for Thomas. And he's talked about how he's playing for others. He's playing free, and love the selection. Love it for the camaraderie of that team. Him plus Catherine, shut up. That's going to be trouble.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll be back with the rest of the picks after this break.
At The Botanist, we always look further, seeing potential where others may not. We sustainably hand forage 22 Isla Botanicals to make a beautifully balanced gin, capturing the essence of our Scottish island home. Consciously crafted by our community to be enjoyed by yours. Look further.
My name is Itzmar, and this is the story of how I got my life back. In college, I injured my back swimming, and pain became so bad that I couldn't function. Treatment was solely focused on my lower back. I was worried that I was never going to get better. When I found HSS, it felt like I had found the cure to my pain. My doctor asked about my hips, as opposed to every other doctor that only asked about my back. HSS changed and saved my life.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, shame on you. But let me run back where we started. We started with the two GOATs, Ben and AL Dub, then Anna Bright, no surprise there, and then a whole bunch of dudes till we got to Catherine Parento. And then the move of the day, by far, is that LA Mad Drops go back to back and put Thomas Wilson with Catherine Parento. That is an awesome move to have two of the first 10 picks and two great players, great teammates. That is going to make a big impact. So this is where we're at. We got tons of picks to go here, folks. I'm going to go back to the desk. We'll have your Doppler radar a little later on.
What's this season been like with MLP?
It's been unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Obviously, the excitement coming into it was at an all-time high, but just going through the draft process, and everything that went into that, trying to identify not just great players, but just the dynamics of building a team and truly building the culture, and obviously every team that was in the MLP was thinking the same thing, and yet I think from the moment that, our GM, Zubin, my partner in all this, the minute that we kind of put our draft out there, we both looked at each other like, you know what, I think we put together the absolute best team that we possibly could have. These were all four of the people that we absolutely wanted, and we felt like the team dynamics would be phenomenal. And I think that what happened today was just a culmination of exactly that. I mean, it was like that represented everything that we were looking to build, and obviously it resulted in a championship, and it was all because of them. It was all because of their work ethic, the way that they prepared, the way that they cared about each other, and I think they just showcased that today. I think the future is so bright for MLP.
So Dave, as you look at that board of choices so far, any surprises that stand out to you?
I mean, the fact that Sock, who we thought just because of the upside and the marketability slipped a little bit, is surprising to me, because I think you could have gotten a player as early as 2. Now, AL Dub, obviously awesome, hasn't won an MLP yet, so you have to weigh all of that. But that, and then what the Mad Drops just did, I love it.
Love it.
Go for it here, folks. And they did, and they got 2 great players. So that's what's happening. And I'm told that we have another selection ready. So we've been talking about it. They have their mascot that they love, that Orlando Squeeze. He's so cute. They had the team that just caught fire. They finally are going to get to draft a player. So we went 370,000 points. Pick 10, we're now up to 400,000, so there was a jump up, and I think we're going to see that all day. Someone's going to get desperate for something, and in this case, 30,000 more than the pick before.
And I love it. We're learning as we go along with you as well. We're seeing things that we didn't maybe expect, which is cool. That's why this is so cool. And with that, we're going to show you what that pick was. Bruce?
With the 11th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Orlando Squeeze select Federico Staksrud.
I'm trying to bring my best and all the time trying to add new things, trying to improve my weaknesses. You know, add attacks, add defense, shots, and athleticism. Adding more jumps, more speed. So hopefully I can get better at that too. If I don't win because the other player is better, it's fine. But I can't just let down myself and give 3 points. So that's the word, consistent. To be consistent in my results. Yeah. I'm just really enjoying the moment, really grateful to be part of MLP. I mean, I just love being part of the team, to play as good as I can. I'm gonna give my best. Really cool to have that. You have to know what you gotta do and know that there's a lot of good teams. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, you have to be happy with what you did. But I think like winning MLP, really bad.
Federico Staksrud. This guy has just rocketed up the rankings. First a single specialist, but more than proven his skill and talent on the doubles and mixed sides as well. How do you like this pick?
Love it, because I think you're starting to get to the point where who can you trust to win twice? This guy I trust. And then if you get to a dream breaker, my goodness, he has made every PPA singles final this year too. So, I mean, you have that confidence, and that's the way these MLP matches go. The confidence ebbs and flows through the individual players, and you're there cheering for them. This guy is somebody, again, the floor is so high because he plays so consistently well, and now he's started to be able to do damage in mixed doubles. That is big because that's what you want to have. And he's starting to play a lot with Rachel Rohrabacher. We'll hear her name at some point here today as well. The other thing Orlando has done here, which I'm not surprised by, is they got somebody who lives in Florida. They went after that quite a bit with their last season, and Fed's going to be spending a lot of time on the highways and byways up and down from Florida to Central Florida, and they just have embraced their team. I love what Orlando has done, and I love that with the 11th pick, they get one of those alpha males that can help deliver for you.
Absolutely, and Staksrud, he's just such a consistent player. He really shows up. He trains so hard, and his results speak for themselves. How do you compare the choice between choosing sort of a more sporadically winning player but with a ton of talent to someone who comes back every week and has significant results?
Yeah, that's what you have to do. So if you do take somebody high ceiling but low floor, you have to then put some players that are a little more steady around that, and then hope that for the MLP weekend you get that high ceiling out of some of those players that have a wide range of outcomes. That makes very difficult on the GM and the coach when you have the roller coaster ride. So I think Fed is perfect in this spot. I think that's a great value at the 400,000 points. So Squeeze sat there and waited. And speaking of waiting, hey Utah, hey Dallas, you haven't picked anybody yet. It's time to go.
That's right. All right. And we're going to hear from Brian Levine, and we'll be back with the next pick.
I'm Brian Levine. I am a board member of United Pickleball Association, which is the parent company of the MLP and PPA Tour. And we're very excited to be here. It's something that we've been working on for really a long time, and it's a tremendous benefit in many ways to really have the top two brands in professional pickleball to be working together. And really just creating a brand, especially in a sport like pickleball. You know, there's already tens of millions of people playing, but they need to be introduced to it, and this is the best way to do it, having the best talent in the world. You've got the top individual tour, you've got the top league putting the money behind the best product possible, and I think that we've done that, and this is something that's been true across all professional leagues, whether you're looking at professional baseball, football, hockey, basketball. If you go through the history, there were multiple professional leagues, and it wasn't until they really came together that you really had the benefit and the growth really took off, because the benefits are, you know, multifaceted.
Back over at the big board here, folks, and here's who's still available. You want a consistent, dominant woman? Etta Wright is your lady. Vivian David's going to be a terrific player there. And then down at the bottom, folks, J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier were added to the pool, about 3 hours before the draft started. We are thrilled that they're in here, yet they haven't been picked yet. You want to talk about getting some value. These dudes are very good. They can win both their men's doubles and their mixed doubles, and they're both very good at singles. You want that marketability, and if you love everything for the dog and barking, you want Tyson McGuffin. And then a couple of the youngsters down there at the bottom, lots of upside. If you talk CJ Klinger, who was amazing in Challenger last year, Gabe Tardio, another one who just got put into the pool, and then Big H has a lot to say when he's on the court. So I am told that we have the next pick, and I was complaining about Utah and Dallas not being ready. Well, guess what? Dallas has earned the next spot. Hey, Bruce, take it away, brother.
With the 12th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, Dallas Pickleball Club selects J.W. Johnson.
Well, you mentioned this guy wasn't even in the draft until today, but JW comes up as pick number 12 and a hefty pick number 12. He's going to be a great asset to the team that he's chosen by.
Yeah, so this is very interesting because I know we talked about the hundreds of mock drafts everybody was doing, and then, wait, what? He's in, George is in, Dylan's in, Gabe's in, Millie's in. What are you talking about? Now we got all that work we did, we got to redo it. And when you get a player of this caliber with the 12th pick, he was as high as the 3rd pick last year in Premier Draft. So what you get is tremendous player. What you do not get is the rah-rah and everything else. So you have to build your team around that. This guy's going to play very well. He's going to be dominant in mixed, and that's what you want. Now you need to find the cheerleader that's a great player too, to just sort of bring that out, because you piece together a team so that you have all of those aspects here, and you're not asking somebody to be something he's not. I don't want J-Dub running around with pom-poms. I don't. I want him having the most ridiculous electric hands of any of the players out there. That's what he can do. So to get alpha male at pick 12, that is something else. And just to put a bow on the first 12 picks, 9 dudes, 3 ladies. So we did indeed go more men than women.
Proven correct as usual, Dave. I wouldn't bet against you. But JW, you talk about that. He's done so well with super committed partnerships.
Yes.
You know, he's thrived with Dylan. He's thrived with his sister Georgia. And Georgia can make some noise out there. Like, she loves to get into the action. She likes to fist pump and yell, come on. And I love that. And he actually does too.
Yes.
And that's the right kind of energy for J-Dub, I think. I think you're absolutely right. But he needs someone that's supportive and strong, but not too loud either. Because J-Dub's actually told me he doesn't like too much loud sound. He didn't enjoy playing with some players who were a little bit more, let's say, feisty on the court or fiery. So I do love that. And moving on here, we're going to hear from Ryan Harwood.
My name is Ryan Harwood. I'm the co-owner and GM of the New Jersey Fives. What I'm most looking forward to this season is the fact that there's been so much built-up excitement for this, right? We've been off for a little while, a little too long. We're all in one boat now, obviously post-merger with the PPA. It's everybody rooting for the sport of pickleball to grow together, and there's just so much more on the line, it feels like now. But in terms of strategy, you know, I'm a culture guy. The way I've built a business is always about culture, about making sure people have fun out there, are enjoying themselves, because it's really just not worth it unless you're enjoying yourself. But also taking ourselves, accountable, being accountable for our results, and work hard, play hard.
Well, guys, as you know, this is a live draft, and so we are waiting on pick 13. So you're going to wait along with us, but hopefully it won't be too difficult for you. I want to talk about partnerships because, like I mentioned with J-Dub, he's used to playing with specific players.
Yeah.
At MLP, you may be playing with somebody you've never played with, maybe never even talked with before that moment. What is that like?
So I think the smart general managers are putting together draft boards where they're looking at right side or left side player, personalities. Who have they played with before? Are they somebody who's comfortable and it's just flavor of the month every week and they're playing with somebody different? Or is it like J-Dub, J-Dub plays with Dylan. J-Dub plays with Georgia, and J-Dub wins, and that's great. So how does he do with somebody new? You got to find that. So that's why that immediacy of having those top players jump into your draft room and saying, hey, we were thinking this way. Do you think you can win fill in the blank with this player? It is so important. If you just pick the 4 best players and you end up with 2 left side guys who want to be the alphas, that's just not going to work. That is not going to work. So you have to think about the dynamic of how you place your team together. Do you have somebody that can be the setup role? Do you have somebody that can handle the pressure? If you're playing with Leigh Waters, that's pressure, especially in mixed, because it's not going to be her fault that you lost. It's going to be yours, brother. So you got to play well. So all of those things you have to be thinking about who can handle it when you step on the 20 by 44.
And the other thing, it reminds me of, as you talk about this, the longevity of these picks.
Yeah.
Because you can protect your players up to 3 and keep them for years at a time. So when you're picking and you're spending all this money on these faces, these names, this talent, you have to also think about, is it going to last? Do I go cheap and I pick somebody who I feel like is a sleeper, who I can get a ton of good talent out of over time? What are you thinking as somebody who's dived deep on the analytics side of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best example of taking a chance and it just being a home run was what happened with Rachel Rohrabacher last year. Johnny Goldberg, my man down in Florida, I'm sure is watching, identified her, talked to Anna Bright about this, and that is a swimmingly successful partnership. And this is what's also interesting. I'm so happy we're merged because here's what has happened now. And Anna Bright and Rachel Rohrabacher now are fast friends and playing together on the PPA Tour. Now, we broke up the squeeze today, but going forward from this day, these teams might find that, wow, I am great with this particular partner. We need to play a lot of PPAs, and then, oh my goodness, your MLP team really benefits if that chemistry comes together.
Absolutely, and I think we saw the Kawamotos really come out via MLP and pick up really big partnerships outside of that because of the success that they had, and it really has sort of showcased different talents and pushed people to the forefront that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before. What other players do you find, wow, talented that we didn't know about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing to answer your other question is a lot of these people that are trying to make their way in, you got to get into the cool kids club. I had to do it as I was trying to play senior pro. I'm like, I think I'm good, but you need partners in this. You got to have partners, and guess what? If you have somebody that can carry you in there, and then all you need is an opportunity. And when you get that opportunity, you got to go. Steve Dawson made my career, and I can't thank him enough for that, because when you're with a legend, you are trusted. You're somebody that they want. Same thing here. If Anna Bright says that I want to play with her, everybody's like, well, then she must be really darn good, huh? So it's that. So with the chance in MLP to showcase, then you get better partners at PPA, and it's just all works hand in hand together.
Absolutely. We love it. We love that we're together. It's worked so well, and it will continue to work very well. And I also want to highlight that there are over 250 players that are eligible to be drafted today. So the owners and the GMs have quite the task in front of them. And some of those players are signed, and some of them are unsigned free agents that, could be picked up at a bargain price.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's now that pickleball has evolved and grown, and 500,000 people watched us a couple weeks ago on a national broadcast, which is so exciting, they want to be a part of this. And they either came from tennis, or they're great athletes, or maybe they just played pickleball. And I can't wait to the day 10 years from now when we're talking about all these little Sparkies. All they've done is play pickleball, and they're going to be the #1 pick. So that is what everyone's seeing, and that's why all these people are putting their name in. They want to be seen. Certainly today it's the cream of the crop. Tomorrow night's the Challenger Draft. So all those GMs are saying, can you get this thing done already? And then we can get moving so we can get ready.
Absolutely. And with that, we have number 13.
Yeah, so back to my man Morgan Evans out there, the Arizona Drive with 335,000 points. They get the pick.
All right, let's hear from Bruce.
With the 13th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Arizona Drive select Dylan Frazier.
I'll do whatever it takes. You tell me to do something and I get to win MLP, I'll probably do it. Decision making I feel like is a really underrated part of pickleball, and making the right decision wherever you're on the court, because it's really easy to get aggressive or play too passively, and kind of finding the right balance and when to do which is tough. Any shot that you can add to your arsenal is something good to work on, I think. And then, just getting more consistent and making better decisions is huge too. My personal goals for the rest of this 2023 year is win an MLP event.
Well, Dave, you mentioned all those pickleball players that we're going to see someday without the tennis background.
Yes.
Guess who doesn't have a tennis background? Dylan Frazier. How do you like this pick?
Well, I love when the folks in the draft room are paying off what we're talking about here, Hannah, so thank you guys for that. Can't love it enough. I'm so thrilled that at the 11th hour, deadline spur action, and they did. Just to get Dylan in MLP, it would have been a crime if he wasn't in there. Great young man, great player, and he's so interesting because he has continued to raise his level. It's not done. This is a guy that's played pickleball since he went out and he played his first tournament with his mom. I mean, that's what he does. But he's such a good athlete. I texted him one day, hey, Dave, I'm at a wiffle ball tournament. I mean, that's what this guy is capable of. So it is very, very good value for 335,000 points with the 13th pick to get a Dylan Frazier. That's huge.
Well, and I think that gives AZ Drive 2 players on the board. Who we got there?
So, folks, are you ready to deal with this? Dylan Frazier and Andre Deiu. My goodness. So that is a lot to deal with. You've got 2 guys I've been talking about. Can you have a team where you've got a guy that can carry 2 matches? Now they've got a guy that the doubles team is awesome. And then you got Andre playing the left, Dylan playing the right. That's fantastic. And then they're both capable of carrying their mixed match. So guess what? Now the rest of the GMs have to be paying attention, because if you're fighting over a dude, Arizona's done with guys, so they will only be drafting women. So as we move through the draft, it's all those little things that you have to be looking at. Okay, they've filled out their men. We don't have to fight them over a guy if that's what we're looking at. How much money do they have left? Oh, if we just bid a little bit more, they can't get there, and they cannot draft anything but ladies. So this is where the strategy of what's going on around you really matters for everybody in the draft room.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure we've got papers galore all over these owners' desks. You know, who's got what, who's got this much money, and all that good stuff. It's certainly a lot of factors to keep in the head. And as we look at these 2 men, I'm wondering, do you foresee any ladies sort of lingering at the bottom, potentially because they don't have much money left, that would fit well with this partnership?
You know, I think as you look at who's going to be there a little later on, you start putting some of the veteran ladies, some of the Utah ladies, potentially. If you throw Elise Jones in here at the back end of the draft, how fun is that? How fun is that with this team? What you're going to get, though, as I mentioned, Andre and Dylan are that's when I want to see the perfect match. You have one of the best right side players in Dylan with Andre on the left. That's fire. They're not going to lose many men's matches, if any. So when you get that far ahead, you know you have given up a little bit with the amount of money you're investing in the ladies, but there's ladies at the 20 through 24 place that will really complement them, and we'll see how that goes. But great job, Arizona, getting 2 alpha males.
And not to mention, Andre has proven that he can play with almost anyone.
Yes,
so that is such an asset to have somebody who can partner up with anyone. And with that, I think we've got a little breaking news.
We do. We're back in there, and for just 5,000 points less, for 330,000 points, DC's back on the clock.
Pick number 2 for DC, right?
Yes.
All right, Bruce, with the reveal.
With the 14th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, DC Pickleball Team selects Rachel Rohrabacher.
Rohrabacher as the choice here. Who is her partner from earlier today?
Yeah, so how about this? James Ignatowicz plays with Anna Bright, of course. That's their partners on and off the court. Well, who's Anna's girlie, Rachel Rohrabacher? So guess what? That whole thing is going to just keep working itself out. So Rachel plus James, somewhat similar player to Anna Bright, obviously. They have won the last 2 MLP events. They beat the undefeated team and Leigh Waters and Catherine Parento down in Austin. So this is one of those where you're like, huh, Rachel Rohrabacher at pick 14, you are betting on the upside here, and we are nowhere near it. I've talked to her a bunch, and it's about the shots she's working on, the passion she has. To be able to jump into the pool and win a title last year with all the pressure on, you got Zane, you got Andre, you got Anna Bright, and now you're the one where you know you're getting the ball. I mean, in pickleball, we can funnel the ball over to, who's this Rohrabacher girl? Well, everybody found out that she is roaring her way to a title. So they're betting a little bit on the upside there, but I like that. I like that. They had to decide, like an Etta Wright is a great pick there as well. She doesn't have just the crazy top end that Rachel Rohrabacher can be, but you have exactly what you want with Etta Wright. So you got to make that decision. That is going to be something else with Big Papa and Rachel playing mixed doubles in MLP. I love it.
I absolutely love that choice. Rachel is incredibly talented, and she's got nerves of steel,
Yes,
as
she
you
does.
mentioned. This girl does not get
No.
tight, and she's had a few titles recently that have been absolutely spectacular, and I think she's not reached her ceiling or anywhere close. So love this pick, especially with the ability to keep those players for more than 1 year.
No doubt. And, you know, when you played SEC tennis at South Carolina, that is no joke. You have stared down the biggest pressure-packed moments and brought that to her from the tennis court to the pickleball court. So that's a great selection.
Absolutely. Well, we're not done, guys, but we'll be right back after this quick break.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for joining us here tonight. We've got some movement from our draft room.
We
Dave.
sure do. And, you know, I'm waiting for Utah. I haven't heard from them. Apparently, they did do some bidding here, but they didn't win. We're deep in the heart of Texas here in Dallas for our studio, and Texas has taken it with 315,000 points. Let's see who they get.
Bruce.
With the 15th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Texas Ranchers select Etta Wright.
winning has been my favorite part. It's never when you're losing is it ever fun. But when we won MLP Daytona, and we had the whole squad there, it's a really cool dynamic. And yeah, it's a great learning process, and it makes for an exciting time. I'd just be grateful, really, to be drafted. And so hopefully the results that I've had so far can improve that. Working on the basics, really. If you have a really good foundation and just keep working hard, I think that's what will just continue to help me level up. It's just focusing on the dailies, winning the day, and then stack those wins. It's a really cool dynamic. Every season, that's the goal, is to win. And win each one. It's everything. It's my life.
Etta Wright, I absolutely love this player, and she's been there before. She's got 2 MLP titles with the Seattle Pioneers under her belt, and you were the GM of that team, so you know Etta Wright so well.
I do. I love this pick. I talked about the ceiling potential of Rachel Rohrabacher. What Etta Wright can do, you guarantee you're going to have great play from her. It's just going to be so solid. She's still getting better. One of the moms on tour. I love all the moms that are out there on tour. I don't know how they do it. I'm in awe of the moms that we have on this tour. But here's what Etta is. When you get her going, and it is something where the coach has to go like, Etta, go be a freaking monster. I had to say that a few times. And then it is unbelievable. It's never going to be loud, but it is going to be so good with her. And when she plays that left side, she and another former Seattle Pioneer who's still available, Megan Dazan, when they get going right now, they're consistently the 3rd seed on the PPA Tour. She's healthy. She had a lot of things she was struggling with last year. We haven't seen her best yet, and this is something where, oh my, Christian Alshon and Etta Wright, that is what a good start to that draft. So nice job, Texas, with getting those 2.
Absolutely, and that's a partnership we haven't seen before.
No.
Obviously, incredibly talented players. How do you foresee those 2 playing together if they are their mixed team?
So that's the thing is these teams are going to go, okay, we need to get, obviously they're going to get 1 more male and 1 more female. Are they going to be playing their best 2 together? Or are they going to take the next 2 and say, all right, Christian, who do you think you could win with? Because then Etta can win with the other guy that we get. So again, those are the nuances as we move deeper into the draft that you have to figure out. Because if you are going to say, no, we're going to go and we're going to win, then let's draft a pair that we think can also win here. And the other thing about Etta, I talked about it earlier when Ben was drafted. You go out there and Ben Johns is over there and you're playing mixed doubles with him. She handled that like a pro. Didn't bother her. She knew she'd get a lot of balls. Ben takes a lot of court. You have to understand where to put the ball and how to play successfully. Those 2 were absolute fire.
Absolutely, and I could see Alshon playing that role with her,
Yes.
or as you say, splitting the team up and making your giving all your players the best partnerships possible to ensure victory as you go forward. With that, we're going to hear from Drew Brees, and then we'll be back.
Sick of that guy. He beat me last year.
I'm going to present this to you, man. Welcome to
hold
MLP.
on. So sorry,
LA Mad
bro.
Drops. This is our squad.
I appreciate it, Drew.
I got the size that I thought would fit you best. Throw that on.
Love it.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
MLP.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And welcome to be my partner for any celebrity event that we get invited to.
I would love to. I would love to.
Okay.
And Drew, I'm gonna give you an AZ Drive shirt.
Okay. I like it. Appreciate that. So if I'm on your home court, I gotta wear this?
No, you don't have to. I wouldn't expect you to do that.
All right.
But if you're anywhere else, you can. No.
All right. I like it.
I just wanted to see, his game a little bit, and I got a little glimpse of it today, and so I need to get back in the lab.
Gotta love those 2 athletes getting involved in pickleball. Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees, 2 great guys, and I love having them be a part of Major League Pickleball. Here's what we've had so far. We've had Ben and AL at the top. This was the move of the day so far right here, what the Mad Drops did. You can do that. We're going in, dynamic bidding. They get back-to-back picks. Catherine Parento, Thomas Wilson, I love that. Now we're starting to see how teams pair up. You got down here, getting Dylan Frazier to pair with Andre Deiu, that's something else. And then, does this board go lower? Because I don't see Utah on here anywhere. Where is it? I don't see it anywhere. They are being very strategic with how they're using their dollars, and we'll see when they're going to jump into the mix. Speaking of jumping into the mix, the New York Hustlers are jumping in. They've already got Jack Sock. Who are they going to put with them? What do you got for us, Bruce?
With the 16th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the New York Hustlers select Jackie Kawamoto.
Such a phenomenal player, and MLP has really worked to bring her to the forefront and make her so obvious as premier talent that brings the greatest energy to the court. And she's just so talented, and she's won a title as well. Dave, what do you think of this pick?
I love it. I mean, it's interesting. Now we're starting to see a little run on the ladies. So you have to get that alpha male out there, and that's what a lot of teams did. They said, get me those 2 wins. Now, the teams that have that are going, I want to have a woman that can carry my women's doubles match. Because if I have a great guy and then I can win women's doubles, I'm winning 3-1, and I'm not worried about dream breakers and the craziness of that. I'm going to get out the door quicker than that. So I like what some of these teams are thinking. And when you start talking about Jack and Jackie, that's all.
Love that.
That's so fun
great
to say. So we love that. What I like about the Dayton Flyer, Jackie Kawamoto, is everybody's like, oh, the Kawamotos, they do so great with their defense. No, she's got unbelievable spin on her dinks. If you haven't seen this lady play in person, go to an MLP event and watch it. It's unbelievable. Top spin lobs, the variety of shot making that she's able to do. So this is a great player, and she is a winner, as you mentioned, and that matters, folks. These people that have faced the adversity of what rally scoring is, because when you step to the line to serve and it's 17 apiece, you got to make a good serve and a good return on the other side of the court, and these are players that have proven they're able to do it at crunch time. So Jack and Jackie, I love it.
That's awesome. And we saw Jackie play with her sister Jade last season as well, and that was an incredible choice by that team. And you saw that play out in their favor for sure. Any likelihood that we could see those 2 pair up again, or are we going to see owners making sure that doesn't happen?
I mean, that's what's interesting here, because you start looking at things like that, like, oh my goodness, could Georgia and J-Dub get hooked up again here somehow? Can we get Jade and Jackie, the twins, who have that connection? You know you're going to have a women's doubles team that is going to be meshing well and going to be hard to beat. So you have to make those decisions, and sometimes, because like in the snake draft that we had last year, everybody's like, how in the world did we let the Kawamotos end up on the same team? Somebody jump in there. No one did. So we're going to be keeping an eye on those New York Hustlers to see if they get Triple J, Jack, Jackie, and Jade. We'll find out if they can get that done.
I love it. A quick video, and we'll be right back.
Timothy Parks, one of 5 owners of the SoCal Hard Eights. As one of the original owners, it's been fascinating to see how the game itself has changed. It's getting younger, faster, more athletic. The way the points are constructed is different. You see, for instance, an ATP used to be an automatic point, and now it almost always gets defended. And it's just the way the game has evolved has been fascinating. The way the caliber of athlete has changed. It's gotten much younger, much more athletic. The points are, I think, more exciting for viewers. And then MLP itself, the league has just evolved. I never imagined when we started that I would have an email or call a week about we're trying to make a movie on pickleball, a TV series on pickleball. We're trying to create pickleball trading cards. So it has definitely infiltrated into pop culture. When 3 years ago when I first bought the team and I told someone I owned a Major League Pickleball team, the question was always, what is that? And now today it's, oh, is that the league LeBron is in? Is that the league that Durant and Tom Brady are in? And so, there's no one anymore who looks at me quizzically when I mention I own a pickleball team.
So Dave, as we review the results thus far, there's only one team that's picked 2 men instead of going for that male-female 2-pick dynamic. Why do you think that is?
I think they saw unbelievable value, did the Arizona Drive, and shout out to Morgan Evans and Larry Fitzgerald, we saw, and the rest of that squad, because they said, you know what, we're going to use less of our point budget for the ladies, but we are going to make their lives easier because you're going to have a great mixed doubles person next to them. And then, you know what? If you can play a little freer when the men's doubles is roaring, when you've got Andre and Dylan as your partners in that, it takes the pressure off that women's doubles match. And the change that happened last year, and I really liked it with Major League Pickleball, was which match do you want to start with? That was an underrated thing that the GMs had to think about, because what gets your team going? It was traditionally the women's match that started, but last year we, as Dallas, a couple times started with the men because Big Papa was rolling. We said, go get us a W, and that puts so much pressure on that women's doubles match then on the other team if they've lost the men's match. So I really like what's going on there with Arizona.
Oh, absolutely. And I have to echo that because it really is in your head. You're always looking at those scoreboards. And if you're down 0-1 or 0-2, your team is debilitated because they're thinking, they're adding it up in their head. Which teams they think are more likely to win? And if they've lost matches, they should be winning. That gets into your psyche and it can make it very difficult to perform.
Yeah, and then you stare over at the sideline and there's all these sad faces that you're not used to because it's an individual sport. And the coach is cheering. You've got the GM there. You've got the owners that are coming now. People made signs and you just lost 21-17 and it was your fault. That's tough. So that is a big factor here, and having that comfort and having that lead, getting that first one is huge in Major League Pickleball.
Absolutely. And as we look again at the charts, as we've said, Utah the only team on here. What could their strategy be for them not to have made a pick by now?
You know, it's interesting. I think they're looking at the board and saying, okay, how can we then maybe just flood the market here and just go, maybe they're going to do 2 or 3 in a row. Maybe they're going to sit back here. You know, they're Utah. Maybe they like Utah players. Maybe they're going for the marketing side of that. There's a very good lady named Megan Dazan who I have not seen picked here yet that is from Utah. So maybe they see, oh, we're going to get 2 guys that can really play well together. We showed some of the names. Hayden Patriquin has been unbelievable in Major League Pickleball. Is that a dude that you want to take the upside on him? So lots of different ways to look at this. Do you want to win? Do you want to market? Do you want that local flair? A lot of ways to look at it, but there's no rule that says they got to jump in here, and they haven't so far. We'll see how it plays out.
And it's yet another testament, I think, to how deep the field has become.
Yeah.
Because you have so many good players now that you don't maybe need to take one of the top 12, top 14 players to be able to have success. And I think that's something that's definitely in Utah's head. It has to be, because you want to win.
For
and
sure.
they have now 1 million draft points at their disposal, should they choose to use them, to go boom, 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 where they can outbid any team left on the in the docket because they don't have the money.
Yeah, they can have any spot they want now. It's literally theirs. They have more than everybody. So will they just keep diving in? We'll find out. But speaking of diving in, they almost won, but they didn't. They did not win that 17th pick. Dallas Pickleball Club got there for $255, so that's the lowest, just at the quarter of your total potential budget there. So $255. Bruce, who on earth did they get?
With the 17th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, Dallas Pickleball Club selects Georgia Johnson.
Well, 255, I think, is a really interesting number because you go back to Utah, if they're holding 4th and a 4th and a 4th, a 4th of their paycheck for players, that's just over the budget. But Georgia Johnson, how about that? What a player, what a woman this gal is, and she plays so well with her brother. She plays so well on her own. What do you think of this pick?
Well, guess what, Hannah? She's going to get to play with her brother because they're both on Dallas. So smart there. We talked about what it's going to take to make J-Dub play at his best in Major League Pickleball. Having his sister by his side is huge. I mean, that is nuts, having to deal with that team as a mixed doubles team, plus her upside. We have not even gotten close to it. Another one of these teenage sensations that's out there. Again, you just talked about the depth of the pool. The depth of the pool, we had like an 8-foot and we wanted a 10-foot pool, and then we got some players added at the 11th hour today. I'm so happy. And 3 of them have already been drafted. We still have Gabe Tardio and Millie Rain who were added to the pool very late here, but J-Dub and Georgia have to be over the moon that they're on the same team, and they're going to get to wear some cowboy hats and be a part of Dallas Pickleball Club here.
Absolutely. And how do you beat a team like that when you have all these new partnerships and you've got those two looking across the net at you potentially for their mixed partnership? And I love Georgia's game. I really think she doesn't show any fear.
No.
She'll go up against the biggest guys and go in hands battles and win them. And I love that fire. And she's also said that she loves MLP. She loves that energy. She thrives out there. And this is the place where she wants to be.
Yeah, she's smoked balls at your brother many times, both your brothers, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, Georgia ain't scared. And that mentality is great. So that team just got better. I love J-Dub's game. Now I love the fact that he's going to have his sister there to help push that teamwork and camaraderie. It's going to be really good.
All right, and with that, we're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Look, facing the team in New Jersey was the easiest decision of my life. I'm an actual Jersey boy. It's where I became me, right? It's home. Jersey's, I am, it's fully everything that I am is, you know, we all know that like it's like nature nurture, right? You have your parents, you have your DNA, and then it's your environment. A third of who I am, fully, is the streets of Edison, New Jersey in the 80s. It was very different than what's going on now. And that Bon Jovi album when it dropped in 5th grade, like that was crazy Jersey pride. And you know, there's a little, I love being an underdog. I'm shocked how competitive my juices are. We won both of our matches yesterday. The New York team has a lot of owners that are my buddies. They lost both of their matches yesterday. And the sheer enjoyment to text Danny and Jason and tell them that they suck was, you know, invigorating. So, you know, I'm a pretty diehard fan, but when it's yours, there's just something, you know, it's like, I like all children. They're all cute, we love them, but your children you'll kill for. To be frank, I'm extremely nervous going into this quarterfinals. It feels exciting, yet with a little ounce of fear because I want to win championships for Jersey.
Welcome back, guys, and it's been awesome to see how the owners have gotten so involved in the process.
Yes.
And some of these guys or ladies are big names who you'd think would have a lot more on their platter than, you know, a pickleball team. But they have gotten so involved, Gary Vee being one of them, and so many cool faces. You mentioned Drew Brees multiple times, Larry Fitzgerald. How cool is it to see people coming together and for something so cool like a pro pickleball league?
Yeah, we love it. I mean, no one is more passionate about pickleball than I am, and anything that puts a little kerosene on the rocket ship and the fire that is pickleball, and seeing people that are 8 years old playing with grandparents that are in their 80s, and now having the celebrity component, and then being a part of our league, and it matters to them, and there are people in draft rooms right now that have done very well in their careers, whether they're athletes, entertainers, business, men and women. So the fact that we're getting all this thought power too to make our league even better is terrific. So I love the fact that they've embraced it, and that's the key. If we have these folks jumping in, I want to see them get involved because that's what makes it special.
Absolutely. It even gears up the players as well. When they see these big names on the sidelines or coming even to their pickleball practice, they're like, oh my gosh, this really matters. How cool is this? And I know the owners have been on such a ride with MLP from the beginning in 2021 to now, and we really appreciate all the support that they've given this.
No doubt about it. I mean, I think you've got to have that. You know, as we're getting this launched, now we've got our footing. Today is a massive day. We got the merger done. We got all the best players in there. Now let's go have these amazing events starting in Atlanta. I can't wait. And we're not even halfway through this draft. I mean, this Christmas just keeps going. I love it.
And with that, I think we have a little breaking news.
Yes. Guess what, folks? Utah bid a lot, but they didn't bid enough. So Columbus is back in there. Columbus at 300,000, so that is above the last couple of picks that were just below that, so that's interesting. Took a little more to get there. Let's see what happens.
All right, Bruce with the pick.
With the 18th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Columbus Sliders select Megan Dizon.
Meg Dizon, I absolutely love this player. She is just awesome on and off the court. And Dave, you brought her up several times, is incredibly talented. And she fell fairly low for how talented she is, in my opinion. Talk about this pick.
Yeah, this was an interesting one for me because we mentioned how much money Utah has. And now you have a star in your backyard, and you just barely got outbid. So interesting that they didn't throw a little more in to get Megan, because this is a player, you want to talk about confidence and playing with a team. Part of the Seattle team last year. And the first event, it didn't go perfectly. She played fine, and she took it upon herself to say, I'm coming back. I am not going to be a problem for this team. And then we just rolled people. Megan and Etta found it. She was playing great with Tyler Leung as a mixed doubles team, and they just became a thing. And you want to talk about a player that is still on the rise. There's guys that don't even nearly hit the ball as hard as this lady. So she's playing with a ton of confidence. And the other thing her ascent enables her to do is she's playing deep into PPA tournaments. What does that mean? She's running into Leigh Waters. She's running into Catherine Parento. She's running into Anna Bright. She's very competitive in beating some of those players, and that's what it takes to reach all the way to the top. She and Etta won a title on the PPA Tour last year as well. This is a player that I would love to have on my team. You just have to give the right support around her, because if it's right, it is better than almost anybody. She has that much talent.
And it's amazing to me, this gal is vegan powered too, but nobody hits a bigger backhand than Meg Dizon. I absolutely love it. She's a girl's girl and so much fun to watch on the court. And you know, it's interesting as we're proceeding through this list, and everyone's very well-rounded. Everyone does well on almost all platforms. A couple of singles specialists, a couple ones that really shine in singles as well. How are we going to see that sort of start to shift as we near the end of the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to decide, okay, it's more important to whether you're great at mixed or whatever. It's who do we already have? So we got Megan Dizon there for Columbus. They started out with Riley Newman. Okay, again, it's that same conversation we had earlier. Are you going to play the two superstars that you have together, or are we going to spread out the talent based on the selections you? So now you start saying, hey, Megan, we've got this group that we're looking at. We might have somebody ranked higher in our draft board, but we did that without knowing Megan was with us. So Megan has to be involved in that conversation. Riley, I'm sure, is very much involved in that conversation to figure out how we put it together. Obviously, last year, both of those were winners. That matters to me as a GM as well. Then you figure out, okay, how do we form this so that we're good to go? So nice pick there from Columbus.
All right, and we've also got next pick queued up. Dave.
Well, Utah, welcome at 6:54 Central Time. I feel like, didn't we start at 5? We did start at 5.
It's almost been 2 hours.
6:54 Central Time. Welcome to the draft. 290,000 points, so plenty of money left, or excuse me, plenty of points left for them. And let's see who is going to lead Utah.
For Utah's first pick, Bruce, take us away.
With the 19th pick in the 2024 MLP Draft, the Utah Black Diamonds select Tyson McGuffin.
Let's go.
MLP season's been great. I think it's one of the few events where we have real spectators coming to support actual teams, not individual players. With MLP, it's simply just teams, professional players, both Premier and Challenger, and we have true spectators that are coming and supporting the team. So I think all that's just super rad. Over the 6-week break, gonna get back in the gym, pump some iron, get back to the practice courts, kind of work on some techniques and work on some new things in my game. And yeah, man, just keep working hard, keep putting in the time, keep putting in the effort, and I think, you know, all that stuff pays off. I would say, win 80% of my matches, be the team leader, not only be the on-court hype guy, but be the tactical, coach as well. I can help drive teams, or I can help with strategy, or I can help with tactics, with our team. Yeah, man, just keep doing what I'm doing, keep the camps going, keep the content alive, and keep the kids happy, and it's all good, brother.
Well, Tyson McGuffin, the guy with the electricity like no one else. How do you like this pick at number 19?
We had to wait an hour and 56 minutes, but what a pick from a teammate standpoint, from a guy that will just inspire everybody. If you want to go down the marketing road, no one does that better. He was the guy that taught all the other players, and still is well above almost all of them, on how to market your personal brand. So when you have a guy that's great at marketing his personal brand, and now he's part of your team brand, that goes a long way. And the dude is playing well. He is coming off an injury, so he'll be in the draw this week. So that's something to keep an eye on again. But it comes down to, what is your priority? So for a first pick and waiting your way through that, you get a lot of benefits from Tyson McGuffin. So we'll see how Utah adds to that as they go. But I'm glad they made it in the show.
Absolutely, and I think with Tyson, you mentioned the injury, and I think he fell lower than he should have in terms of talent and potential and teamwork and all these things, because people were worried about the injuries. But he's been saying he's feeling good. He's ready to come back with a vengeance. So it's really exciting to see. We're going to have final thoughts from Connor Pardo here.
For me, I was working in my family's business. I stumbled across pickleball much like everybody else, where, it's this addictive thing. You play it and you get hooked. And, I was fortunate enough to find it back in, 2018. I was 24 years old at the time. And I think just seeing the potential of where pickleball could be and seeing where it currently was, it didn't seem like a huge lift to really try to take it to the next level right then and right there. And so I think we did a good job doing that. And then since then, it's just been how do we get a little bit better, week by week, month by month, year by year. And I think there's a lot of people to thank for how pickleball's grown the way it has. Originally this was going to be something for me where I did, 6 events a year. And it was something that I would do, along with other things. And I remember after the first year sitting down with Ben Johns, and he's like, hey, I think we figured this out. I want to do this full time. And I've always said this, the pro players, they've been our partner in this. You couldn't do it one without the other. We have a staff that's obviously works really hard, but we have a group of pro players that also wanted to help found professional pickleball. And I obviously think that's a really cool part and a really important part of why we're here today.
What a thrill to be on this desk with you, Hannah. We're not even halfway through. My favorite move of the night is LA Mad Drops going back-to-back picks 9 and 10, Catherine Parento and Thomas Wilson. That is going to benefit that team, no doubt.
Absolutely, and for everyone else out there who wants to follow the rest of this draft, this is all from us, but you can go to MajorLeaguePickleball.net to follow the live blog and make sure you catch up on all of the rest of these picks. They're coming out as we speak, so don't miss a thing. Guys, thanks for being with us. We were so excited to bring you this draft here tonight and everything else that MLP will bring this season.